realistically, it's not good for your career. No matter where you work, no matter who you work for, to take that time off and then to go back, you know, you do have to like start from scratch again. And then once you've had one baby, I think people are looking at you thinking, oh, they're going to have another one, which is, I do your textbook, that's what I did. But at least if it is shared between men and women more, it won't be so much of a stigma, will it, towards the women taking that time off?
As you say, even though there is that guarantee of a job at the end of the year, your career does take a massive hit because people have forgotten who you are. You have to rebuild all your connections, re-establish your reputation, and kind of counterbalance the stigma associated with mums not being able to concentrate properly because they're thinking about their kids.
Myself and a lot of women at the moment are really, especially when you have children, you really question what kind of decision you can do regarding your work, that how you can kind of fit it into your life and actually make some money, not necessarily the money you made before. And I think lots of women, it's propelling them to start their own business, which I think is great because it's encouraging people to do it. But at the same time, it's not an easy decision to leave your job and to leave like a guaranteed salary to go into the unknown just because childcare is really difficult. Or the perception is that the mother has to deal with childcare, which it still really is.
Yeah.
It's always the mums that are rushing to get the kids. You never really hear about the dads leaving work, but then you're in a slightly different situation, aren't you?
Yeah, I am very lucky that my husband did want to take paternity, and so he's taken 3 months of additional paternity leave.
What's the reaction been like amongst people? Because it is quite unusual, isn't it, still?
Yeah, it is really unusual. The funniest reactions is basically a lot of people say to Dan, oh, it must be so nice to have that time off. Really nice to have like a break. And Dan's there like exhausted at the end of the day, absolutely shattered, saying, how does anyone think this is a holiday? Like this is full on 24/7, thinking about another person's well-being constantly is hugely taxing.
We were quite lucky in a way. It doesn't sound lucky, but my husband got made redundant just before I had our second baby. So he actually got to spend the first 3 months at home with me and then started a new job literally 3 months later. So it was almost like there was no kind of financial gap. So it worked out really well. Obviously, normally men get, I think, 4 weeks in the UK.
2.
Is it 2?
2 weeks.
Oh, so, I mean, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
2 weeks. We don't actually have any help really in terms of childcare. Granny and Grandad love the kids and it's really nice for like a weekend down to see them or maybe a night here, but I don't have any help, so that does make it trickier.
It's really hard.
Yeah, and I think maybe I could have continued my career if my parents lived down the road or if my sister lived down the road and I had someone that could pick them up.
Yeah.
When I went back to work for a year with my first child, I had a nanny and I spent about £20,000 on childcare.
Which is a huge amount.
It's a huge amount. There are different levels of childcare, but it's not like in Scandinavia or Norway where they subsidise it.
I mean, yeah, I am fairly optimistic about bringing up Magnus in this country. I think we are extremely privileged and fortunate, and so many aspects of our society work that you know we don't have to worry about basic things like water, electricity, heating. We've got that covered. We don't have to worry about healthcare.
You know, it's essentially you're getting a free service. You're having your baby and you're having scans, appointments. You're having your child delivered, you have overnight stay at hospital, and although you pay for it through your taxes, you're not spending any extra money on the care, which is obviously amazing.
In terms of the big things, you know that your kid's going to be okay.